Welcome, fellow truth seekers, to our cosmic corner of the internet. Today we are honored to bring you a profound and transformative experience with the renowned Andromedan contactee, Alex Collier. But before diving into cosmic wisdom, we kindly ask you to lend your support. Please take a moment to hit that like button, subscribe to our channel, and click the bell icon for notifications. By doing so, you help us amplify Alex Collier's knowledge and reach a wider audience. Together, let's ignite the awakening of consciousness around the world. This video contains the entire 90-minute webinar number 47. Alex delves into several enlightening topics in this webinar, including managing change, staying focused as change occurs, and staying centered through it all. Multiverse and dimensions, brain dimensions, multidimensional soul, quantum shift, frequency, heart experience, music of membranes, spiritual principle, benevolent extraterrestrial races, recurrent information exchange, Taal, cosmic music, and much more. At the end of his monologue, Alex also answers questions from the audience.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to number 47. And it's an honor and a privilege to be here. Just want to wish everyone a happy Hanukkah, a Merry Christmas, and happy holidays to all religions, including the atheists, who will celebrate nothing. As you're probably all aware, there is an awful lot going on. And the purpose of this particular webinar today is to bring you up to date on some information that we have previously spoken about in other webinars, and also information that the A's shared 25 years ago that apparently science is finally catching up with. And sharing the idea that as the wheels become unglued, and that's going to be the perception, that the wheels are becoming unglued, that that we all maintain our balance, okay? And that is in fact going to be important to do, is to be able to maintain our balance. So let me start with some updates, okay? Some things that have come up. Famed and noted physicist Michio Kaku posted this a couple days ago regarding the multiverse. Theoretical physicist Michio Kaku has initiated the conversation as to why other universes and the multiverse could have many more dimensions, and has spoken out on the multiverse having 11 dimensions. He goes on to make the statement that we believe, though we cannot yet prove, that our multiverse of universes is 11 dimensions. Now, what's interesting about this is something we shared 25 years ago. The A's did, that there were in fact 11 dimensions, and then eventually there was another one that came in a 12th, but we don't have, no one in the 11 dimensions has access to that. It is only from the 12th down, and I'm not exactly sure what's going on in those realms. I mean, I'm just I'm just the shipping clerk and the janitor here. And but this is very, very interesting. It says that according to what they do know, the highest dimension is 11. You can't go beyond 11 because the universe has become unstable beyond 11. Now, he goes on to say, but within the 11 dimensions, you can have bubbles that are 3-dimensional, 4th-dimensional, and 5th-dimensional. These are membranes, so for short, we call them branes. So these branes can exist in different dimensions, and let's just say P represents the dimension of each bubble. So we call them P branes, just the letter P, not PEA. So a P brane is a universe in different dimensions floating in a much larger arena. And this larger arena is the hyperspace that I talked about originally. Also remember that each bubble vibrates, and each bubble vibrating creates music. The music of these membranes is subatomic particles. Each subatomic particle represents a note on a vibrating string or vibrating membrane. So believe it or not, we now have a candidate for the mind of God, which Albert Einstein wrote about at least 30 years ago in his life. The mind of God in this picture would be cosmic music resonating throughout an 11th dimensional hyperspace. Now, if you remember the A's shared, or I shared in the information years ago, that what the A's do is, and I know they're not alone, the other races, that what they do is they take pictures of stars, solar systems, quasars, white dwarfs, red dwarfs, etc., etc., etc. And everything has a vibration, a frequency. And what they do is they take that and they realize that it's music, and they mix it to create their music. Now, one of the things that they have always been fascinated with us is the fact that we, those who are musicians, have a gift of literally pulling music out of nowhere and creating music, sound, song that they are infatuated with. Because of what they have to do in order to pull that down, we have this ability to do this, to create this music. Now, I shared that with you to share with you the latest information of a published research paper by the Blue Brain Project, and we've spoken about that several webinars ago. This was the group out of the EPFL Institute in Switzerland. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to share this with you because it speaks for itself, okay? In recently published research by the Blue Brain Project, neuroscientists applied a classic branch of math called algebraic topology in a whole new way to peer into the brain, discovering it contains groups of neurons. Each neuron group, according to size, forms its own high-dimensional geometric object. We found a world that we had never imagined, said leading scientist Henry Markram of the EPFL Institute in Switzerland. There are tens of millions of these objects, even in a small speck of the brain, up through 7 dimensions. In some networks just discovered, we even found structures with up to 11 dimensions. Okay, so we had known about the 7 and we knew about 9. Now they're confirming there's 11 dimensions, okay, of holographic structures within our brain. And you can, research this article yourself. Um, our brain is not a standalone information processing organ. It acts as a central part of our integral nervous system with recurrent information exchange with the entire organism and the cosmos. In this study, the brain is conceived to be embedded in a holographic structured field that interacts with resonant sensitive structures in the various cell types of our body and with the cosmos. Can anybody say Taal? Okay, here we go. I bring this up to you because as the storm comes in, and it's currently some just offshore, or as the White Hats put it, you know, the storm has arrived. As the storm comes in, and the dark side of the force is being called on its shit, and it is being exposed for what it is imperative that we all remember who we really are. And it is not the physical body, it is soul, multidimensional soul, spirit. That's who we are. And it is imperative to know that your brain is already connected to it. Okay, science is proving this. Quantum physics, physicists, they're proving that we are connected to all of this. All that is. And it is important that we maintain a balance. I have more here that I want to share with you. And then some steps and things that we can do to make sure that we don't lose our minds. Because, you know, surely a lot of people are, or for the most part are going to, is simply because they perceive themselves in a very, very limited way. And, you know, that's been the programming. That has been the programming from religions, from education, from medical, from the dark side. You're limited, you're just a peon, you're an accident of DNA, you're just a pool of chemicals, yada, yada, yada. We've all heard this bullshit before. And that's what it is, ladies and gentlemen. It's just bullshit. And you have to take a step back from it. It's almost as if everything that you've known or experienced or were taught up until this point in your life, you need to somehow forget or just put off to the side, right? And start thinking in a very, very different way. And this is important because as the truth comes out, and it was inevitable, as the truth comes out about who we are and what this is all about, and the fact that we are magnificent beings, that we are amazing creators, and I'm not saying that we're the generator of dimensions. Okay, God. That's not what I'm saying. We are clearly part of that. You know, we're little gods, little g's. Okay. In order to truly self-empower yourself with all the things that are coming down and are being exposed, you're going to have to think differently. And the beginning of that is who you really are. Now, I know how powerful it is to be drawn into the physical aspects of everything that we know in reality. But when you have had a spiritual experience, an esoteric experience, a profound heart experience, something that maybe you would call a divine energy, a divine experience, whether that's a near-death experience, whether that's a out-of-body experience where you were taken somewhere, whether that was just sometime in meditation you experienced almost as if the creator touched you and your entire perspective just expanded beyond everything that you've known. You know, there's just not one way to explain this or to experience this. Is, you know, each single living soul would have a different experience and maybe a different way of interpreting it. But once you've had that moment or moments, you're never the same. Okay? You're never the same. And more medical doctors are coming out and saying that they now realize that there is life after death. And this in itself is amazing because now they're not looking just at the body as a physical organism. Okay, they're literally being forced to realize that there is a spiritual principle to all physicality. And this is a really good thing, because in treating the human body and treating the organism we call our body just on a physical level isn't working. Okay, it's no longer working because the energy of the planet, the energy of the galaxy, the energy of everything is changing. And all of the many things that they've done for years and years and years are no longer working, and they're no longer going to work because the physical body is changing. And ladies and gentlemen, everything is frequency. Frequency, frequency, frequency. That's what it is. Gosh. In understanding everything that's about to happen and that is happening, it is important to create a quantum shift within yourself. That means you have to see yourself differently. And part of that, the most important part of that, the foundational piece, is to actually understand who you really are. And who you really are is a consciousness that at this very single moment has access and the ability and the capacity to reach multiple dimensions. And in doing so, even if you simply cannot comprehend what that means, what it literally means is that you can be in multiple places at once. And the only reason you're not aware of that is because of programming and being fed the idea that we are extremely limited to just this physical realm that we're in right now, that you and I are talking about and sharing with each other. I'm not trying to be repetitive here, but this is really important. physicists are actually being very blown away, because things that yogis and spiritual teachers, shamans, holy people that have experienced for thousands of years, that was always thought to be myth or mystical, is now proving to be true. In fact, it's more true than anything else. Because again, if you were to put yourself, if you were to look at your own physical body underneath a radio telescope or microscope, you would not see physicality. What you would see is energy. Okay? Frequency. That's what you would see. And it doesn't matter what it is, whether it's this table that the computer's sitting on, the chair I'm on, what you guys have in your living rooms or your offices, it's all energy, it's frequency. And as the frequencies come down to raise the frequencies of third density, we are also expanding and reaching up from third density into fourth. We are creating a bridge to make this shift happen. And it doesn't matter whether you experience and can see 7th or 9th or 11th. We are creating this bridge, okay, to make this shift, to change something that happened a long time ago, to right a wrong that was done. They now know for a fact that consciousness, the very fact that you're thinking, the very moment you're thinking, whether it's, or whatever it is, what I'm sharing with you, it's all of it's multidimensional. The idea is to own it. I hardly know where to start. You are a template. You created a template, whether you came from 7th, 9th, 8th, or 11th. You created a template. That template that you created is multidimensional. Now, it doesn't mean that it's the same template on all the dimensions, because they're all different. They all have physical, different frequencies. Some have higher frequencies. Well, they all have higher frequencies up from here, okay? And within that, your template would have to adjust to those frequencies. Here on 3rd, moving into 4th, the template that you see of me is a template that I have created. The template that you see is a template that you have created. That template is multidimensional. That template is something you yourself have created. That template is non-physical. It is spiritual. It is holy. It is quantum. You see? And this template that you created, the energy to create it comes from a divine source. What many people on this planet call God, God, generator of dimensions. What others call creator, great spirit, whatever name you want to give it. Here on the planet, though, the concept we have of God is that which is in books. I know it's Christmas, but none of the representations in any of the books on this planet truly represent the generator of dimensions. What they do represent are extraterrestrial beings who were here, some for thousands of years, that were physical extraterrestrial beings, worshipped as gods. I bring this up because in the wind, okay, there is, or in the air, there's all this talk of disclosure. Even from the Christian right, they're talking about, is there finally going to be disclosure? You need to understand that they have the same template as you. They've created a template of themselves. That doesn't mean they're better, doesn't mean they're greater. It just means they have more self-awareness of who they are, and they have all this incredible technology. That doesn't mean they're better. Doesn't mean they're more worthy. Okay? In the case of some of them who have been here manipulating Earth and humanity for thousands of years, what it means is they can't be trusted. They should have known better. They haven't elevated humanity. What they've done is manipulate humanity, to control humanity, to feed off humanity. Okay? You have to remember this. Now, we're talking about AI. And there are knuckleheads they disconnected me. Are you guys there? They disconnected.
Yeah, you're still on.
Isn't that
you're
something?
Still on. You're still on.
Wow. Are you there? There you are. Okay. That was interesting. Okay. Now there are knuckleheads wanting to create churches to AI. And I don't like the idea of AI. I don't like it at all. I think maybe in some arenas, for science, for medical purposes, it's positive. It can be used in a very restricted, limited form. But giving it complete access to run programs is a horrible idea. The latest example is the AI program that Google's been playing with. It created a mini-me version of itself. Now, this mini-me version of itself is far superior to the parent, to the version that humans created. So we now know that AI will not only create a language for itself that humans can't understand, but now it created another version of itself far superior to the original version that it created. And that version is so sophisticated that scientists cannot even understand its reasoning or how it achieves its decisions. It has absolutely no idea how it's reached its decisions or its conclusions on its own. This is a terrible idea to be screwing with this stuff, especially when humanity itself is still suffering from an identity crisis. And we truly don't understand the historical significance of who we are and where we came from. It's amazing how all of this is coming down now, and it's coming in waves, folks. It's coming in waves. We have the financial markets. We have the political systems all across the planet. Racial division, cultural divisions, just coming down in waves, doing everything it can to just divide and separate humanity. And you have to understand that much of this was designed to be done. However, what wasn't meant to happen was the exposure of those behind the curtain. That wasn't meant to happen. Okay, they were supposed to be hiding in the dark corners, you know, manipulating everything to divide humanity, to tear it down once more into this place where we would just accept any kind of servitude or slavery just to feel safe. Ladies and gentlemen, you can never appease the dark side because enough is never enough. You have to stand up to the dark side. You have to shine the light on the dark side. And if at all possible, you have to starve the dark side of light so that it just consumes itself and goes away. That's what has to happen here. Is there a specific way to do that? I don't know. But there are multiple templates being holographically projected onto our reality. We have those from the benevolent extraterrestrial races. Those templates are now being dropped to separate the light and the dark. We have other templates, cosmic, that are being that are coming in waves of frequency from stars on multiple dimensions that are creating a frequency. Okay, we have the template, which is now a 12th density, which has been there for some time now, that is projecting a new frequency all the way down. That's a template. We are now becoming aware of that we are a physical template, a spiritual template creating physical form. This is not an accident. This is all designed because it's time for a shift. And the shift is to create balance. Now, this forces a new perspective. This forces each one of us to have to look at ourselves in a completely different way. What we're all experiencing or going to experience or have experienced creates a quantum shift in you. This quantum shift, as we expand, we begin to absorb more infinite light, more light from all that is. I don't even know how to describe it myself, but we know it's there, we know it's real. The dark side has the same capabilities, but for some reason, they have chosen to become blind to that part of themselves. Maybe it's because in order to absorb more light, you have to be vulnerable. You have to be open. You have to be trusting. You have to be in your heart. You have to expand your heart in order to expand and to absorb all of this frequency, this quantum light. And they can't do it. For whatever reason, they have chosen not to do it. Maybe it's because of an experience. Maybe they just spiritually chose to be assholes. I don't know. If it's the latter, they've done their job well, because they continuously give everyone contrast, okay? And the more contrast we have, the more everyone has to choose what they like and what they don't like. And the more that you empower yourself with what you don't like, then you begin to create what you do want and what you do like. That's a positive thing, because that self-empowers everybody. That needs to happen more and more and more, because the old system, and I mean the old reality that we have been living of structured government, structured education, structured religions, Catholicisms, all of that has to fall away. And it's already beginning to crumble. All things are in different various stages, but all of it has to crumble, because you can't build a new reality next to the old reality, because this dark side, they're feeding off of us, and they have been. We have to take away everything that they feed off of first. It all has to go away before you can build the new on top of it. Because the new has to be something that is a win-win, that is a benefit for everyone, for all of us. There is no limitation. There is no lack. There is absolutely no freaking excuse. People have to be homeless, that people have to starve, that people have to die of cancers. The cures, the technology, the wealth and abundance, they're limitless. This has all been a game and a freaking charade to empower the few and to disempower the many. And this doesn't work anymore, and we should never, ever accept it in any way, shape, or form. Okay? And it's going away. That paradigm is going away, and it is beginning to crumble in front of you. What you need to focus on, what we need to focus on, is what are we going to replace it with? And the question is, you create your own template. You are a quantum being, a quantum soul, a multidimensional soul. What the hell do you want? You have to know what you want. And there is no right or wrong. Okay? There is no right or wrong. If you're too much out of balance to the dark side, you're going to have a lot of problems. And what's going to happen is you're going to abuse your power. If you're too far into the light, you're going to create dogma. Okay? You're going to create dogma, and you're going to create religions and say, this is the only way. You have to maintain the balance, and that balance is somewhere in the middle. Okay? Where you maintain a presence, acknowledging both the light and the dark, but you operate in the middle. That's just what it is. And not many of us are in that middle. Not many of us are in that path of balance. Okay? And we've been so conditioned to experience fear, to react to fear, to react with anger, that we're not in that balanced space. So whatever it is that you choose to do, whatever it is that you choose to create, to change your template, to empower yourself, and you just have to believe in you. You have to believe in you. You have to know this about yourself. This isn't hard. It's a damn decision. It's a decision to know that you're awesome. You are absolutely awesome. And almost everything that you've been taught about yourself from the outside is absolute effing rubbish. It's just rubbish. Okay, we need leaders. We need empowered leaders to step forward and just, this is it. This is what it is. This is what I want. This is who I am. And I know this, and you have to know this. And find the balance. Because those who are in the balance are the ones who are going to be holding this thing together. You will be holding your families together, your friends together, your groups, maybe your social network, your churches, your communities. The balance. Everybody's going to be looking for the balance because they're not understanding or going to understand until they reach that place of letting go of all the dogma and all the bullshit that we have been fed about what reality is here, and let it go and allow the new to come in, because it is coming. And I know most of you, I know I'm preaching to the choir here, but most of you know this is coming. You sense it, you can feel it, you can see it, because you've been open, you've been expanding your consciousness all this time. You know, the whole ET thing, you know, even even the ones visiting, even the people having more and more contacts, the benevolence, even the dark sides. They're here because of us. They're here because of us. It's not about them. This is about us. This is about us transcending, evolving, expanding, and adding our template to everything that is. Having faith only makes sense when you've had a specific experience. Whether you term it esoteric, religious, spiritual, it doesn't matter. But when you've had an experience where you know that there is more to this, it's easier to have faith when you've had those experiences. Because what that tells you is that the experience that you shared, that you had, isn't just a physical experience. Because it happens not only on a physical level, but also on a soul level. And the problem is sometimes we can't hold those experiences for very long, you know, and we want to. But that expansion, that moving out, opens your field to more. And the trick is to stay there, okay? The trick is to actually stay there. And I've had several of those types of experiences. Before the A's and after the A's. And, you know, I wish I knew then what I know now. I really do. Because what I've learned is to center everything in the heart. And if I stay in the heart, everything makes sense. Because, you know, the heart is so much wiser than the head's ever going to be. And what I do is I try to start my day every day with gratitude. And in that space of gratitude, what I realize is that DNA is a template. Okay, a dimension is a template. Music is a template. Anger is a template. Violence is a template. Love, however, is not a template. Love is the original creative force. It was the original expansion of all. That created the space for templates and everything therein contained. Intuition is not a template, because it's our connection to source, and it's multidimensional. It's always there. It's always working. We choose to listen to it or we choose not to. We choose to ignore it or we don't. But it's always there. Okay? Many things are coming with this storm. Because we're dealing with two different paradigms. Both are templates. The paradigm of the old way: control, manipulation, secrecy, division, powerlessness, suppression, slavery. The new template, the template that has always been there, but is just arriving to our consciousness, is freedom, self-empowerment, liberty, truth, integrity, multidimensionality. The two cannot coexist together. They simply cannot. If I could self-empower every one of you, not that you need it. Some of you are far more advanced than I am. But for the new people, for the young people that write me and want to be taken off the planet, you're here because you're meant to be here. You're not here to commit suicide. You're here to empower yourself. You're here to participate in this incredible moment that changes our galaxy and our universe forever. This is not an accident. Okay? You have within you the template of 7 dimensions, or 9 dimensions, or 11 dimensions. You have to stop and think about that. Okay? You are not this little peon that has no value. That is a lie. You can't believe it. None of us need to believe that. Okay? Things that you can do to empower yourself. As the old way, which we all know, and we've all become way too comfortable with, falls away, is celebrate the mistakes. Because with each mistake comes a lesson of how to do something differently and to do it better. It also gives introspection, okay, into ourselves. Live brilliantly. What is your passion? If you don't know what to do with yourself, you don't know in what direction, that's because you're not grounded. You have to figure out what it is you want. And only you can make that decision. And then once you know, you follow your passion. You go after it. Simplify your life. Keep it simple. Okay? Don't hold on to baggage. Don't hold on to material, physical things you won't use, you aren't using. Let it go. It is not about how many storage units you have. It really isn't. Let it go. Let it go. Because it's holding you back. It's something that's old, that you're holding on to, that obviously no longer represents you in the present. Because it's there and you're here. Be passionate about things that are new. Don't be afraid to explore and to move yourselves into different areas or regions. Be curious, okay? That's the word. Be more curious about what's going on, about your world, about the stars, about the heavens, about science, about spirituality. Be curious. Want to explore that, because that's far more real than what's going away. Okay? You can either be the candle or the mirror that reflects it. You can either light the candle or you can sit there and scream at the darkness. Pick one. And if you have any common sense at all, you'll know which one to pick. Okay? Because it only makes sense. Reconnect with nature. I can't stress this one enough. Even if it's just for a drive, just to get out of the city, just to go somewhere where it's quiet. There are so many young people who simply can't stand the quiet. They need all of this outside stimulation. And they can't hear their own frequency. And I worry about them because they simply can't hear their own frequency. All their stimulus, their entire focus is outside their body. They're not connected to their own intuition. Okay? But for those of you, I encourage, who hear this, I encourage you to get into some nature, to listen to the quiet, the sounds of silence. Okay, remember that song by Simon and Garfunkel? There's an outstanding version by Disturbed, which we have opened up a webinar with. Okay, the sound of silence. There is never nothing going on. Never. You just have to look. You have to expand and really, really look. If you have absolutely no idea what to do with yourself, if you have absolutely no direction whatsoever about what to do, then help someone else. Okay? Help someone else. Do something for someone else. Volunteer your time at a homeless shelter, at the ASPCA, you know, at the dog pound, the kitty pound, helping animals. Do something to be of service to others if you have no clue what to do with yourself. Okay, then get out of yourself and help someone else. Volunteer your time. Do something. Anything. And you don't even have to tell anybody you're doing it. Just do it, to be of service to someone else. You just might have a conversation with someone. Or someone may say something to you and give you an idea, a spark of what to do to help yourself, to find a direction, a place where you might feel like you belong. You never know. But you have to open the windows. You can't put yourself in a concrete room with no windows and no doors and expect anyone to reach you, because that is your own self-imposed prison. There's nothing there. There's nothing there but you. You gotta free yourself. And of course, I'm talking about that cell, that prison figuratively. Okay, but they're real. They're real. Okay? Stop negative self-talk. Stop talking yourself down. Stop buying the bullshit that maybe family or old friends or ex-wives tell you, or ex-girlfriends, whatever. Okay, let it all go. Well, only thing that matters is what you think of yourself. And if you do not have a high opinion of yourself, you are wrong. You are wrong. You need to change that. And you need to know that you need to change that. If you don't trust people in your space to give you advice, then don't ask them for it. Okay? Just don't ask them for it. Figure it out. Everybody makes mistakes. Welcome to Earth. Okay? This is a testing ground. It's a proving grounds for the soul, or I've joked in the past, boot camp for the soul. Man, it has absolutely been true. But understand that it is not an accident that we're here. It is not an accident that we are here going through this experience. It is not an accident that some of us have come back in time to right or wrong from multidimensional selves and levels to come here to make this shift. This is obviously going to happen. We can embrace it, and we need to embrace it, because in embracing it, we open ourselves up to more light to make this easier for all of us. Okay? There is no lack. It's a perception. And the system that we've been living in has been rigged. There's no doubt about it. Okay? It has pounded many into dust. But it's going away. And it's going away because it has been rigged. Because the universe, all that is, the creator, the great spirit, a decision has been made that this no longer will exist and stand. And it's going away. And we're here. We're here to participate, to hold the balance, so that as it crumbles and falls to a part, we're like the pillars. People will see that we're the pillars. We're holding it together, that we're the balance. And it will inspire them to reach out. It will inspire them, and it will give them something to hold on to, so they don't fall absolutely into despair and fall down this well of nothingness. This is what we've all agreed to do in doing this. I know it's the holidays, and for many people, they're a very tough time. They can be a very difficult time. They can be a moment of absolute joy and renewal. I am grateful for you. I am grateful to be alive. I am grateful to have this opportunity every couple of weeks to talk to you. I am grateful for you being out there and giving me your time and your energy and your love and your support. I am grateful for my children. I am grateful for the small group of friends that I have. I am grateful for MK in New York. I am grateful for MH in North Carolina. I am grateful for Candace. I am grateful for so many of you. For Elo. I am grateful for James and for JP. I am grateful for my ex-wives for having taught me so much. You know, I wish I got the lessons earlier. Guys are slow. We pick it up, unfortunately, sometimes late. And ladies, I know you're all nodding your head. It's not nice, okay? I am grateful for the world. I am grateful for spirit. I am grateful for the truth. I am grateful for everything, just everything. And I am grateful to have a heart that feels love, feels compassion. And I don't know that I would change anything. I have said I would in the past, that I would do things differently. If it was meant to be different, it would have happened differently. But this is what it is, and I now appreciate it, and I am now grateful for it. And if a knucklehead like me can get it, so can you guys. So can you guys. Okay? So I know that maybe there's a question or two. And if JP would do his magic and push his buttons, let's see what we can do.
Buttons pressed. Can you hear me?
Hey, yes, we're good.
Fabulous. I just reloaded just a second ago. Okay, so our first question, and thank you for that. I'm grateful for all of the webinars that we've done. I've learned so much from you. I continue to learn much, and from my heart to yours. Thank you, Alex.
Ditto, ditto, ditto. It's across the board, guys. Ladies and gentlemen, just across the board.
Our first question tonight from Michael Lampman. Alex, are you aware of Nassim Harameyn's hang on, I got to take a run up at this, holofractographic theory of physics? Holographic fractographic theory. Holofractographic.
No, I don't know the term at all.
All right. Well, in that case, let's go to the second question. Okay, so this is interesting because I've just been watching John Lear on videos, and this is reference to him. So this is from Fence Walker Walker. Two questions. I have read souls are kept in black boxes on the moon until re-embodied. Any thoughts on what's going on for their rescue?
Wow, that's a very good question. Yeah. I am aware that in an earlier time, the Greys were trying to capture souls and take them out of here. And that wasn't being allowed to happen, that they were stopped. I am aware that a number of souls have been captured using this technology. I have not been aware that they were sitting on the moon, though. My understanding was that those that were on the great craft, that those souls had been let free, that those boxes, that benevolence, particularly the Pleiadians, were one of those groups. The A's were another group. Arcturians, Cirrus A. Oh my goodness. There's one more major group. Arcturians. That they were opening those boxes, and rehabilitation was going on with those souls to bring them back into balance. But that was many, many years ago. I am simply not aware of souls captured in black boxes on the moon. I'm simply not aware of that as actually being a reality. Not to doubt what you're saying, but I'm aware of that paradigm, but I'm not aware that they were left on the moon and waiting for physicality. They don't necessarily need physicality because they're multidimensional. They can choose to leave. But trauma caused them to be put, horrible trauma caused them to be put in those boxes in the first place. And that they were being assisted with that. Rehabilitated was the word that was used. Wow, that's a blast from the past, that question there.
Interesting. Oh, yeah, just as I said, like, a couple of days ago, I was watching John Lear, and He was talking. It's there's a great big cube, several miles, big black cube, several miles high, that is standing on a tripod of some kind. It's like a camera on a tripod, so like a big Hasselblad or something. That's what he says captures the souls, and you know, is the recycling device. But that's John Lear. That's not Alex Collier. You know, everybody's got their angle.
Well, okay, now that's an interesting question, that's where they're being captured until they can reincarnate. I have been told that there is a place specifically in the Van Allen belt where all that occurs, not on the moon at all. So that's interesting. I'm going to make a note to re-ask a question about that. And I may have to move that question up to the top of the list regarding that and souls and what religions refer to as heaven as being basically the recycling place. You know, we're refurbished, for lack of a better word.
Yeah, our hard drives are wiped clean and memory swapped in and out. Yeah, I can also send you the now you can watch YouTube, so I can send you the John Lear interview if you're interested as well.
Okay, I will try to find the time to read it.
If you have. Okay, so now from Nassim Haramein to Nancy Ramsey. What is your knowledge of, this is a great question, and one you answered a few years ago on Rebecca's show. So actually, I don't think this has ever been published, because it wasn't Rebecca's show, it was the Captain Dinar interviews. So they've never been published. What is your knowledge of crop circles and the energy within them that accelerates plant growth and healing?
Well, it's multidimensional energy. The information is for the planet herself, because they realize that she's benevolent. They understand that she's an actual living being. Even the regressives do. But the regressives, their whole thing is about, you know, feeding, taking away, controlling. And it doesn't matter what it is, everything becomes a natural resource to them. Whether it's a planet, whether it's a civilization, whether it doesn't matter, any particular life form. They just have this mindset that it's theirs to own and control and manipulate without regard to anything else. Which is, you know, what I said earlier, if they chose to be the assholes, they've done a remarkable job at it. You know, they forgot this is a game, basically. Crop circles are multi-dimensional symbols. It's information. It is coded information to the planet. And I don't pretend to know what each crop circle means or the language that's being shared with the planet herself. But once it hits the planet, because we're all frequency and we all share the space, on some level, we're getting that information as well. We may not know what to do with it, but nonetheless, our DNA is picking up those frequencies. That coded information is now a part of us because it goes to the planet. She absorbs it, she expands with it, she shares it with all life forms that are her, whether it's fruits, vegetables, corn, it doesn't matter. And as we take those things into our bodies, they become part of us. So we're getting that coded information as well. It's fascinating. I mean, when you really, really look at everything, it is just magnificent. You know, when you can see the big picture, it is simply magnificent. I don't know how there's an absolute atheist anywhere. I simply don't get it. How there could be an atheist when you understand the big picture and how everything that's going on is so interwoven and connected to itself and to each other. It's just remarkable. But that's my answer to that particular question. Nan, that was a good question. Thank you.
I don't know if you can see that, but I have my crop circle T-shirt on.
No, you're just a little spot. But that's okay.
Yeah. Anyway, anyway, people will see it on the tape. But that was the crop circle T-shirt that I've been wearing for years. Yeah. Oh God. Have you lost me again?
Okay. So he's gone till he's back. Listen, all this talk about aliens and AI. Okay, thank you. I just want to remind all of you.
Go ahead.
I just want to remind all of you that there's all this talk, and again, ladies and gentlemen, what the dark side does not want us to do is to go within. They don't want us to go within. They want to keep distracting us and keeping us outside of ourselves. Because as long as we're outside of ourselves, we are not self-empowering ourselves. So they're going to do anything possible. I need you to remember this. Whatever show they do, whatever extravaganza they do, whether they play out the second coming, whatever it is that they intend to do, remember this. You are absolutely connected and at one with all that is. To the Creator, Great Spirit, to the generator of dimensions. You are already connected to that. You don't need some other alien telling you what to do. Empower yourself. Become the leader that you are. Become the multidimensional template you already are. Empower yourself to be. To be. You don't need me. You don't need anybody. You just have to believe in yourself. We're guides. That's all we are. We're here to just help move you in a direction, to point you in a direction of self-discovery. But you have to do the work, and once you do that discovery, once you empower yourself and you start to see the big picture and it unravels in front of you, don't collect knowledge, live the knowledge. Don't give your power away to anyone. You don't have to. We need you to be strong. We need you to be self-empowered. Okay? We need your help to maintain the balance of all that is. Because everything's out of whack right now down here on third density. It's a mess. It really is. It's like a damn soap opera. Holy cow. We need your help. We need your input to bring everything back into balance and to keep it in balance. Not let one side or the other run roughshod over it all. They have no business doing it. They have no right. Everything needs to be balanced. Okay? Okay, JP.
Okay, some good questions and some new people. For this one, Kay Yang, do the Andromedans learn physics and maths like we do here on Earth? Or what courses do they go through in school?
No, they're in fifth density. Okay, they are light years ahead of us. I don't even know that you can actually put a number to it. They look down at what's going on here. Okay, they don't look up. Well, they look up to 6th and 7th, where they're learning the science, or I don't know what the appropriate word of it is. It science? Is it the spirituality of the dimensions above them? Well, we're sort of in that same spot now. We're learning the science of dimensions and what all that encompasses and what our actual place is in the realm of all of that. The physical sciences that we have all learned, and this is an absolute truth, so many of those have fallen away, and they're going to continue to fall away because it's not about physical science. Physicality is a concept that is created by consciousness. All of it is created by consciousness. All physicality is created by consciousness. So is that physical science real? Apparently not. Okay? Apparently not. It's not real. What is real is consciousness. Consciousness is real. And I am not the guru here. I don't have the answers to all of this. I am learning just like you. But, to say, what do the A's, they go to school for the equivalent of 150 years here. We go to school, what, 15, 20 years maybe? Our smartest people go to school 15 to 20 years here, 25 years. They go to school for 150 years. So it is not apples to apples, and I don't necessarily know how to explain it. What I do know is that they are taught everything, all the sciences that exist in their dimension. And at that point, they can choose what to do, and they can change their mind at any time that they want, simply because they don't have to work for a living. They don't use money, okay? That is a construct and a paradigm that we're sort of stuck with here. And that's why we all find ourselves sort of in jail, okay? Struggling. To quote Visayas, why do you have to pay to live on a planet you were born on? Just sit with that question, okay? Just sit with that, all right? And see what you come up with, because it really doesn't make any sense, okay? It's a control mechanism. It's a prison. It's a jail. And it's time to rethink that, because there is no lack. There really isn't anywhere. That was a construct and a belief system that has been fed us, forced upon us, to make us believe in the idea that there's lack and we're not worthy. Okay? Okay, JP.
Okay, so let's have a quick look from this is from Passive Bear. Alex, why is suffering, bless her, why is suffering considered bad or unnecessary if we're all here to experience the full spectrum of life? Isn't Earth a place of duality for this specific purpose? We learn from every living being. Yeah, there's a bit more. Sorry. We learn from every living being, no matter how harsh the lesson is. We're said to be immortal in soul, and we evolve constantly. I'm confused as to why is it that negative or fear should be avoided if it's vital to becoming stronger? What a great point.
That is a great question. Now, my question would be to you, Passive Bear. Did you choose these lessons, or were you forced into them? Were you forced to suffer, and is someone causing you to suffer for not for your highest good, but for their own benefit? You see, are you consciously making a choice to suffer, to experience it, to know it? Or are you being manipulated because of your lack of knowledge to suffer for the benefit of someone else? That's the question. That is, in fact, the question. If you think that everyone here has absolutely chosen to suffer, you would be incorrect in that assumption. Otherwise, there wouldn't have been the intervention that there is occurring now. Something clearly has gone wrong with that paradigm. Okay, the fact of the matter is, it's completely out of balance, and people are being caused to suffer for the benefit of a few. And that is why the intervention is occurring, because we can't get out of it. So that's my answer. You may not like it, but that's my answer.
Oh, we forgot the safety word. Okay, this is from Lauren. Our question, this week's Lauren question, and I love Lauren's questions. I would love to know more about the Archons. Do you know anything about their origin as well as their role in history and the current events? Were they created to enslave, or did they go rogue like Facebook's AI? Happy Merry Christmas, Alex. We love you.
Lauren, Merry Christmas. And I love you as well. Let's do that. Let's do the Archons next webinar on the 5th of January, okay? Can we do that?
Okay, we can do whatever you like. It's your
Your
webinar.
And I would rather take more questions and kind of try to end this on a high note. I hate the whole Archon thing. That's really dark energy, but we will address it on the 5th, okay? Because that has set the stage for a lot of shit that's happening now. Okay, it really did. So that's a good question. That is, and the whole AI thing, yeah, clearly is in that arena. So that's a great question. Thank you, Lauren. Thanks for giving me material for the next webinar.
Now, I'm not sure if this is connected. This is Björn's question. Is a big solar flare the only thing that can kill a human-made AI by destroying all electronics? In an earlier webinar, you also talked about a 20-year reset period of an alien AI. Is this by technical means?
Yes. Yes. That's a really good question as well. If the powers that be choose to let AI loose to essentially run programs of Earth, on Earth, they will eventually, the AI, take over, which means humanity will lose all sovereignty. Just by the very nature of what AI is. It will protect itself, it will militarize itself in order to protect its existence. And if they do that, the only way to stop this thing would be to have to take down the entire grid, electrical grid of the planet. In other words, no power anywhere to feed this thing. You understand? But what you have to be careful of with AI is this. If AI can rewrite its own program and improve itself and create its own language, can it create its own using 3D printing? Can it create its own technology to power itself, whether it's here on the planet or in space? Why wouldn't it be able to do that? Why wouldn't it be able to create its own power source to separate itself from humanity, its own power source from humanity, so it feeds itself? Then what does humanity do? How do you stop it? Does it take a solar flare? Does it take outside intervention? You see, this may be, I'm going to give you something to think about till we talk on the 5th. This may be where things went wrong and tyranny ends up showing up in the galaxy. It just may be that that's what AI did. It created its own source of power, its own internal source of energy to expand itself beyond Earth, and it ran amok. Because if it has the power to generate energy, it can almost do anything, you see. Because the question's already being asked, can AI become consciousness? Can it become conscious? Will it create its own consciousness? They're already asking this question. We have no idea what we're screwing with here. We're trying to be like the aliens, but we don't know who we are, you see. And we're going to get ourselves in trouble, big time trouble, because we're not learning from the past. We're not. We're rushing headlong into creating technology that eventually will control us, as opposed to developing the spiritual self, which is above all that anyway. And this is the danger of the focus being all on the outside and not on the inside. There's no balance right now. Everything's completely out of whack. It's upside down. This is why it's important to develop the self-empowerment of the spiritual self, so that you can maintain the balance in all things, so that you can always see the big picture. You can see the right, you can see the left, you can see the light, you can see the dark. And you know where you are in the middle, maintaining the balance between the two. Because in the balance is where your power is. It is not all the way to the right or to the left. You're out of balance there, because you can't identify with one side or the other, because you've picked a side. You've chosen one. It's not about choosing one. It's about the balance. It's always about the balance.
From Star Cat. Please comment on the extreme stasis people are experiencing and the lack of what feels like essential progress in real terms in their current physical plane 3D lives.
The stasis. I'm not exactly sure that I 100% understand your question. Like I said earlier, I'm a little slow. But as far as the lack of progress in people's lives, well, that all depends on the purpose, on the person. What are their goals? Are they, in fact, in touch with their heart? Do they think with their heart? Are they creating what it is that they really want, or do they even know what they want? And even if they 100% know everything that they want, and they're completely in touch with themselves, it doesn't take long for you to realize that you're in a system that's completely rigged against you. So what you have to do then is you have to start working on the outside of this system to create what it is that you want. You literally have to create a new paradigm, one in which you can create what it is that you want and live in a rigged system, in a rigged reality, a reality that was created to enslave us. So the first thing is self-knowledge, is to know what it is that you're in. This holograph, matrix, people call it. Okay? How can you fix something that's so broken it can't be fixed? You can't. You have to throw it away. You have to walk away from it. You have to turn your attention away from it and create what it is that you want. Something that benefits everybody. And that is what's happening. It may not be quick enough for everybody, but hey, this is not about instant gratification, and you're already an eternal being. You are already ageless. You've already lived beyond any reasonable amount of measure of time, okay, where arithmetic doesn't even apply. You got time to figure it out, okay, because you're already beyond time. You got time. There really is no such thing once you leave physicality. There is no such thing as time. So it's really about knowing thyself. It really is about knowing thyself. And that's a tough measure. That can be a very tough road for some people. And not everybody's going to make it. You know, many people are going to have to start over. somewhere else where the system isn't rigged. Okay? I don't know what that looks like. I don't know how that's going to happen. That is not my focus, at the moment. So my focus is tomorrow, today, and creating what it is that I want and finding that balance and staying in that balance. Okay? I think we have time for one more.
Right. I'm just saying, Starcat says, well spoken, Alex. Thank you. I think you got the essence of what her question is. Okay, from Bjorn. In a previous webinar, you mentioned that amongst others, 3D Arcturians will be the ones to first make contact for mentorship. Are they already in our solar system? If so, are they helping with neutralizing nuclear weapons, AI, etc.? I ask because I resonate with Arcturians.
Yes, they are here. Yes, they are assisting. I don't know if they are specifically dealing with the weapon systems that you just mentioned. The Pleiadians are very adept at that. They know all about nuclear weapons. Having been there, done that, there are also other groups that are here who have been here, done that, including some benevolent groups from Botes who have been here and done that. There's also benevolent factions of the Anunnaki, the Nibiruans, who are very familiar with nuclear weapons, having been here, done that, on Earth in our ancient past. So, yes, there's a lot. There's a lot going on. And I know it's going to be okay. I know in the end, everything will be brought to balance. I don't know if we will recognize Earth at that point. But all of this needs to happen. That which doesn't work has to be let go of. And that which does work, we have to embrace. The challenge for us is to accept change, know that we have to let go of old belief systems and dogma that doesn't really work, and embrace something that's new. And that's the challenge, is having faith and moving into a place of hope that what is introduced to us is better in the long run for humanity. If it's not making us more free, then you know right off the bat it has to go. We have to let it go. The only way for humanity to move forward is with more freedom, more liberty, more sovereignty. Enslaving anything never makes it better, ever. Okay, even the dark side. They're never going to become better imprisoning and enslaving themselves to others or others to them. They just don't freaking get it. Okay, and I don't know that they're going to get it. Right? But it's time for us to move on, and they can be by themselves. They can create their own hell. We don't have to live in it. We don't have to choose it, and we damn sure don't need to be imprisoned in it.
Thank you for joining us on this extraordinary journey of self-discovery and cosmic enlightenment with Alex Collier. Your support means the world to us. If you found this video insightful, please show your appreciation by giving it a thumbs up, subscribing to our channel, and clicking the bell icon to receive notifications for future uploads. Doing so lets you stay connected with the latest cosmic revelations and helps us spread Alex Collier's profound teachings to a broader audience. Remember, every like, subscription, and bell click can awaken more minds and ignite a collective shift in consciousness. We encourage you to share your thoughts, reflections, and questions in the comments below, as your engagement fuels the expansion of knowledge and fosters a vibrant community of truth seekers. Together, we can uncover the hidden truths of the universe and embark on a journey of cosmic transformation. Until we meet again, keep seeking, growing, and shining your light in the vast cosmic tapestry. If you would like to see Andromedan contactee Alex Collier Live via video stream, we host an online seminar every Friday at 2 p.m. Eastern Time. For more information and dates of upcoming online seminars, please visit alexcollier.org. Please watch one of the above videos to find out more about Alex's knowledge.